Hi, I'm Suze Shaner with Sage Leadership Strategies, and I'm your host today of Community Forum. And I have the great pleasure to have with me Lucina Fisher, who is a writer, journalist, producer, director. And today she is coming to talk about her most recent documentary, Mama Gloria, based upon Gloria Allen's life. Welcome, Lucina.
Hi, Suze. Thanks for having me back.
Oh yeah, thanks for coming on the show. So for our viewers that don't know, Luchina came on in 2017, a little while ago, right after her other film, Birthright, came out. But today we're going to talk about Mama Gloria. Now, Mama Gloria, as she's known, affectionately known, is a leader in the transgender community. I want to start with first, how did you get the idea to do a film about her life?
Mm. Well, the idea sort of landed in my lap. A very dear friend of mine, E. Patrick Johnson, who is now the dean of the School of Communications at Northwestern, had heard through the grapevine, through the academic grapevine, that Gloria Allen was looking for someone to help her write her memoir. And that is something I did in a past life. I did some ghostwriting, and he sent me an article about Gloria that was in the Chicago Tribune back in 2012. And it talked about Gloria being this transgender elder icon who started a charm school for homeless trans youth. So I was immediately captivated by, first of all, somebody who came of age before Stonewall and transitioned before Stonewall, but also started a charm school, which sounds so kind of throwback for homeless transgender youth. And as it would happen, I was on my way to Chicago with my daughter, who identifies as transgender and is an advocate in the LGBTQ community. Um, Gia was going to speak to some companies in Chicago, and I was able to connect with Gloria while I was there. Actually, Gloria ended up spending a day with Gia and the other champions in the Gender Cool Project, which she advocates for. And it
How is that? That's amazing. Like, how is that for um, the youth? Because your daughter is, still a teenager, and for somebody like Mama Gloria in that community, kind of an icon, to spend the afternoon with them. How was that day?
Oh my God, it was magical. It was Gloria just has this way of like telling stories. She just like opens her mouth and she just keeps going, like, telling you all about her life. And the kids were wiping away tears. They were laughing. My daughter came up to me afterward and she said, "Mom, this is so inspiring." And
Uh,
yeah, that was so meaningful to me because then I knew, like, Gloria has this magical connection with young people. And I think that young people in the LGBTQ community, um, they want to know about those people who came before them. And those are the people who really blazed the trail for them and made it possible for them to live out and openly and more freely and without less, with less discrimination.
well, yeah, and in the film, I mean, what she had to go through and overcome. I'm curious, over what time frame did you actually do the film, and tell us about the choices you made in portraying like the arc of her story. Like, how did you decide what to leave in, what to leave out? Because she's experienced a lot.
She's experienced so much, and that was probably the toughest decisions to make. I think when we first of all spent 2 years with Gloria. sort of going back and forth. She's based in Chicago, and the first time we were with her, we spent a week just filming, and Gloria is in her 70s, so it can be quite taxing for anybody to do a day of filming. But she seemed to have just so much energy. She was so completely open and comfortable. I remember one of the crew members whom we had just met, who was working with us in Chicago, said to me, "So how long have you known Gloria?" And I said, "Well, we just really met a month ago."
But you seem like best buddies or something.
She couldn't believe it. She really couldn't. And I think that's a testament to our connection, that, we really instantly connected, and it was so easy to film her. Much more difficult was certainly what to leave in the film. And there were definitely some aspects of her story, her love life that we couldn't include. Gloria spent about a year in New York. She had a singing, she was taking a stab at a singing career. All of that we couldn't even get into, and it was really, really tough to decide what to keep in.
Well, you know what I want to do at this point for our viewers? Can we have a clip? So let's meet Gloria. Let's go to the clip.
The only time I entered a closet was to get me a outfit and a pair of pumps. When I came out of my mother's womb, I was out. My mother and my grandmother were supportive of me, and they didn't want me to look like a overly done drag queen. And if my makeup wasn't right or my clothes wasn't right, they'd stop me and tell me, "Oh no, sister, you do it again." Then I said, well, let me get out here and help somebody who really needs my help. A bell went off in my head. They need a charm school here. I would have classes twice a week for the homeless, trans girls and guys. It was a sheer delight for me, because here I am with my children. You turned out to be an amazing young woman, and I'm so proud of you. So many of my friends didn't make it. They're gone.
None of us, when we were young, ever thought about living to be this age.
It just came on out. I'm living from month to month. I'm on Social Security. I want to get a boyfriend that's going to look after me or, be close to me. I want him to be there so he can alert my family that I'm gone. And I remember hitting the floor and just laying there.
It's okay.
Yeah,
We're gonna get you together. We'll fix you up. Gloria, don't do nothing. Okay.
Just moving.
Well, don't start crying.
I'm all right.
I want you to just calm down. I know she wants to be by herself. She's used to being independent. It's not gonna move. So this is what we're gonna have to do.
I can't lay up too long. Life goes on no matter what. I'm just gonna enjoy myself while I can. I'm ready.
It's an honor to be here tonight to celebrate a living legend, the one and only Gloria Allen.
I thank God for the transgender people because we are a blessing.
All of the hurdles that you had to go get over.
We have to know how to stand up and fight. I never thought that people would treat me like the way they're treating me now. I feel like Snow White just being kissed and woke up. We don't know when our time is gonna come, but God has been so good to me. Walk proud, because I'm gonna let you know I am somebody.
That's wonderful. So can you amplify what she said? I feel like Snow White just being kissed and woke up to life. Can you amplify that statement in terms of how you say this played out as you got to know Gloria?
Mm. Well, I love that statement, first of all, because it's funny. Gloria has had so many different lives, and I think that she probably thought she'd been forgotten, um, until she sort of looked around and saw what was happening within the community, saw that young people needed some mentoring and guidance, and she thought, well, why not me? And she started the charm school really from this place of just wanting to give back, the sense of gratitude that she had family who were there for her, and that she was really still living, that so many of her friends in the community either were victims of violence or AIDS, HIV, or mental health issues and suicide. There were just so many ways in which she felt blessed, and so she passed on those blessings, and then suddenly she started getting attention for it. She started getting this media attention, and next thing she knew, somebody reached out wanting to write a play about her charm school. That led to the play being staged in various cities across the country. And then things kind of died down for a while, because I think the last performance was probably in 2017. And then she just started writing her memoir on her own. She probably just never thought things would happen the way they did. And now with this film, Gloria's actually next week scheduled to get an award from SAGE, which is an advocacy organization for LGBTQ seniors. She's receiving the SAGE Leadership on Aging Issues.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. That's the name of my business, Sage Leadership Strategies. That's hysterical. I didn't even know that. That is really fun. Good for her. Her story is there's sad and tragic moments. I guess, we all have some of those, but ultimately it's really about portraying she has incredible courage and resilience. And I think the thing that struck me was her relationship with her cousins. So sweet. We saw that a little bit in this clip. So endearing, so supportive of her. I'm curious, outside of what we see on the camera, what did you intimately learn about Gloria while working this film with her?
Well, certainly her family is there in many ways. She is actually the oldest of 13 children.
I know that blew me away. I was like, wow. And it sounded like she had to help raise some of them as well.
Yeah, she did. She did. Certainly, Gloria can paint a very beautiful picture of resilience. But it is true that she has been through a lot. And and it is amazing that she is as resilient as she is. And I think I really wanted to show, especially when she does have a health crisis, and gets knocked down for a while, just how that manifests itself, that sense of that resilience, that, just pick yourself up and keep on going. I feel like she's had to do that for herself through much of her life. And yes, she did have a lot of support from her family, but she does still have some siblings who, she's less close to and, has difficult relationships with. And she doesn't dwell on it. I guess that's the main lesson I've learned from her is forgiveness, because it allows you to move on and open your life up to the blessings rather
Yeah.
than.
That's something that struck me, because at the beginning she was talking about her mother and what really came through, because at the beginning of her life it sounds like she did not have a support, but then ultimately her mother and her stepfather came through. But what came through was the forgiveness and the compassion that she ended up having for them, and just the understanding. And there's just something, you get the sense of her struggle, but there's also something endearing, not to gloss it over in any way, because it does sound like she definitely had her hardships. And with her relationship, the one relationship that's, portrayed, at least, with Ken in the movie, that was very problematic as well.
Absolutely. And something that we ended up leaving out of the film was that Gloria believes that she saw Kenneth on a bus one day, that she got on the bus, she sat down, and she felt somebody staring at her. And she turned around and she saw this man who she describes as broke down. He was on a walker, and she said it was something in the eyes that was like, oh my God, I know this person. Like, he kept looking at her and smiling. And then she went home believing it's Kenneth. And she actually then spent weeks after that trying to find this person again, riding the same bus, going up and down the bus line, because even though that relationship had great problems, and it was not healthy ultimately, she still has great love for him. And she thought if she were to see him again, she would tell him that she was sorry, for the things that she did in the relationship as well. And she was hopeful that maybe they would actually get together. So that is the power of forgiveness for sure.
For sure. Okay. So curious, how did getting to know Gloria and her life story affect and impact your relationship with your own transgender daughter, Gia?
Wow, that's a great question. I think for me, what I always recognized from Gloria's story from the very beginning was that this was the story of a mother's love. This was the story of the love that Gloria's mother had for her, and it was that love that Gloria turned into this charm school, and the love that she has for her chosen children. And it was a love that I, as a mother of a transgender daughter, could recognize. That I believe that love and support is what builds the foundation for my daughter to really, go out into the world as safely and securely as she possibly can. And while making the film, my daughter actually reached out to me because she had seen a study about Black trans women and the violence that they face, and a belief that they have an average life expectancy of around 32. And
Really?
yeah, and this was on the internet, and it was really shocking, because I was in the middle of filming Gloria when I get this text message with Gia saying my life is half over.
Oh, well, that must have been heart-wrenching. How did you respond? And of course I know, you weren't much older than she was when your own mother passed. So, I mean, how did that hit you, and what did you say?
Oof. Um, I, you know, I don't even remember what I said in that moment. I think I was just so shocked. I mean, we were literally filming,
Mm.
and I think later actually said to Gloria, this is what my daughter said. And she said, "Oh, tell Gia she's going to live a long and beautiful life, and I only hope that I live long enough to see it." And that was exactly the right response. That you know, I do believe that, but I also believe that there is real violence. There's real concern among parents and people who love, um, uh, especially their Black transgender female, daughters and sisters and so on. There's real concern there about the violence that's out there.
And what a loving response from Mama Gloria. I mean, of course, she, it's reassurance from her own mother, and it's so important. Probably had a little different flavor coming from Mama Gloria, who is transgender and has walked that very tough road, for Gia to have that reassurance from her as well. What,
Absolutely.
given your experience with Mama Gloria, with your own daughter and her journey and everything you've been through with that, what do you want the public to know about the transgender community?
Well, I want them to really see the community as their friends, their neighbors, their coworkers, their family. And if there's any message that I would hope comes across through the film, it's that we do have to love our family members. Um, that love is really what carries them through their lives, um, and it is the cornerstone. It's the foundation, and when that's not there, it's important that people like Gloria are there to really embrace those chosen children. It's important to be good allies and good leaders, and you know we really just have to see that they are like everybody else. They deserving of love. They have dreams and hopes for their future. And, the sooner that we can just see them as, our neighbors, our friends, our family.
Fellow
uh,
human beings. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
The sooner that we just are all equal and there's, not this discrimination and violence.
Yeah. What was your greatest challenge in making the film?
Money.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Well, you did a great fundraiser, so you did get funded. What was your greatest joy in making the film?
Oh my goodness. Well, I will just say about money because, I didn't let that stop me. And the joy was in just doing it. Originally, when I started out the filming, my friend E. Patrick Johnson, who had introduced me to Gloria, his husband Stephen Lewis became our director of photography. He was the one who actually filmed it, and then I called a friend of mine who had worked with me on 2 other short films, and she came along as a producer. And so we kept it very small initially, and we grew it as we needed. We raised money through the community, through Seed and Spark. We did that. And then Black Public Media came on board as a major funder. And they saw the film through the Athena Film Festival's Works in Progress program. And as a result, Mama Gloria is going to be on PBS in April. And I just found out that I got the Field Foundation grant, and they are also supporting the film, which will go a long way toward paying these bills. But yeah, just the joy of doing it, just going ahead and doing it, knowing that there will be a way will be made.
Okay, so it'll be on PBS in April. Where else can people see the film?
Well, before that, you certainly check into our website, which is mamagloriafilm.com. And we're also on social media, Mama Gloria Film, on all the platforms. But we have film festivals coming up, including a free screening, coming up at the Denton Black Film Festival. And that is outside of Dallas, but because everything's virtual, you can watch it anywhere from the United States. And so, again, just go to our website and you can find the information there. We also are going to be in Mississippi at the Oxford Film Festival. And we have some other festivals coming up, including an international premiere, which I can't quite talk about yet.
Oh, this is so exciting. Okay, so if anybody, we have like 1 minute. If anybody had any questions on anything we talked about today, how would they reach you?
Yes, so go to the website, mamagloriafilm.com for sure. And you can also reach us through there. And email me, or also find us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram at Mama Gloria Film. We'd be happy to answer any questions.
All right, Lucina, it's always a pleasure with you. I'll have you on again after your next project. But thank you so much for coming on the show today.
I love talking to you, Suze. Thank you so much. It just went so quickly again.
I know. That's why you got to come back. All right. Till next time. Thanks for joining us.